Who is Deadman? He first appeared in Strange Adventures number 205. Our story begins in Gotham City. Boston was the only son of Gary and Barbara Brand. His parents were constantly fighting and often physically abusing each other. Boston would often find himself alone in his room, daydreaming of flying away somewhere else, like Neverland. By the time he was 16, he had so much anger in his heart that he decided to leave his home. Before he left, Boston violently punched his father in the face. Then Boston began to live a reckless life on the streets. One day, Boston noticed the Hill Circus was in town. He was amazed by these circus performers and soon asked to join them. He started by helping out with whatever they needed and was soon trained to be an acrobat. Boston enjoyed his new life, although his violent tendencies started to return. He could not leave his past behind him and quickly became an alcoholic and would frequently get into fights. While his personal life was still troubled, he excelled in the circus. Boston became known for his fearless stunts as a trapeze artist, often performing without a safety net. His fearlessness gave birth to a new persona. He now wore a red suit and a ghost-like mask and was known as Deadman. Deadman quickly became the main attraction of the Hill Circus, and he was even thought to be the world's greatest aerialist. One fateful night, everything would change for Boston. During his trapeze performance, the sound of gunfire suddenly stops the show. Boston had been shot in the heart and fell to his death. Boston soon wakes up in total confusion as he finds himself in a different realm. Then he is met by a powerful goddess, Ramakrishna. She told him that he needed to atone for living a reckless life, or he would spend his afterlife in an eternity of darkness. As punishment, he was to wander the earth as a ghost, possessing others to do good deeds. The fate of these hosts would now be directly tied to his soul. His spirit was now capable of possessing the souls of others in order to balance the scales of karma. He soon found himself back on Earth in his new ghostly form. He then began his mission to restore the order of karma. He wandered the earth as a ghost, secretly possessing the souls of others to alter their course for the greater good. For years, he inhabited many different lives, although this became very difficult for him. He was now directly tied to these humans' memories, thoughts, and feelings. Boston became incredibly lonely and confused on his journey. His life was now a mystery to him. Every so often, he would be visited by Rama. Rama would try to explain his purpose to him, although her messages were always very cryptic and offered him little to understand. On one of his missions, he accidentally ended up in the Moonstone Club. This was a legendary nightclub hidden in Gotham City. Among the guests were demons, vampires, and other supernatural residents of Gotham City. Within the presence of many strong mystic beings, his true form was quickly revealed. All of these supernatural beings did not welcome strangers and began to chase him out. As he quickly escapes, he finds himself in a mysterious library. This library was run by a fallen angel, and he began to seek answers about his destiny. Although the librarian refuses to help Boston, this soon results in Boston tying her down and threatening to burn down her library if he doesn't get answers. She then reveals that if he wants answers, he needs to find someone known as the Son of Morning. The librarian then explains that the Son of Morning was the first of the angels to revolt against heaven. She mentions that he has gone by many names since creation, but he is most commonly known as Lucifer. She then explains that the Son of Morning has the answers to all things, and he resents Rama because of her interference in the spiritual realm. Although the librarian also warns that seeking these answers will come at a great price, usually one's soul. As Boston asks about his location, she informs him that he has recently taken a human form in the Gotham Fun Park. Sometime later, Boston arrived at the Gotham Fun Park seeking answers. He is then met by the Son of Morning as he invites him to join him on a roller coaster. During their ride, Boston begins to ask some of the deep, important questions about existence and reality. Towards the end of the ride, Boston explains that he feels used by Rama and doesn't understand his purpose. The Son of Morning then explains that Rama has darker motives with his life, and that she has been losing faith in herself and is becoming less powerful. Rama had been using the power from these human souls to find a new path of existence, which would make her more powerful. Once the ride ends, The Son of Morning explains that Boston can now use this information to bargain with Rama, and if he does this, he will not ask for payment in return. Shortly after, Boston is confronted by Rama, who is furious by his betrayal. As she screams at him, his soul is nearly destroyed within seconds. Rama quickly threatens Boston over his soul, and then he states that he will no longer play her games. To her surprise, Boston explains that he knew she has been manipulating him and his human hosts. She asks him about his intentions, and Boston explains that he wants to have more control over his destiny. He states that he no longer wishes to be tied to the fate of his human hosts. Eventually, Rama comes to an agreement to release these souls from his fate for a new price. Boston was still to be used as Rama's instrument at her request. He was still considered unworthy of a peaceful afterlife, and was bound to remain on Earth as a ghost. He was to continue to live new lives through more souls, and as each task would be completed, Rama would release them from him. Then all of the humans tied to him are released, and he is soon teleported back to Earth. Sometime later, Boston found himself wandering into a cemetery. He is shocked when he sees the ghosts of his parents. He begins to explain that he would never forgive them for his childhood, and is then visited by a mysterious figure. This figure is then revealed to be someone named Brahma Das. Brahma was considered to be the powerful Hindu god of creation, and he had taken favor of Boston. After his introduction, he teleports them to the mystical city of Nanda Parbat. Brahma explains that anything is possible in this mystical city. The two talk about Boston's journey, and then Brahma informs him that he has a great decision to make. Brahma explains that Rama had lied to him and that he was indeed worthy of the afterlife. He could either enter into the peaceful afterlife, or continue to live his life as a spirit bound to Earth, and help others in need. Boston was nearly brought to tears by this offer, but decided to stay and help the people of Earth. Before they left, he had one more request. He wished to meet his parents once more. Once Boston saw his parents again, he had finally decided to forgive them. Boston soon returned to the land of the living with new purpose. He continued to travel the world possessing souls to change them for the greater good. Throughout his different lives, he began to specialize in helping others with mystical and demonic-related problems. Boston even found love several times along his mysterious journey. Due to his ghostly form, he is usually never physically seen. Although sometimes other mystical beings are able to see him, and his haunting appearance conjured up his old stage name, he was once again known as Deadman. While he had gone through several traumatic supernatural experiences, his attitude never quite left him. He is known to be vain, pretentious, and to have an odd sense of humor.
Are we gonna stand here and twiddle? Or are we gonna get down to business?
Nice entrance.
I was in the circus.
He had a knack for irritating the wrong people.
Deadman went on to help several teams of heroes over the years, with varying levels of acceptance.
Bruce, Deadman took over your body. It wasn't your fault.
Let me explain! He would have shot her! I didn't have a choice!
He would also go on to learn about his killer. There have been two different versions of Deadman's killer. One is a man known only as the Hook, and the other is a mobster named Jimmy. They both killed Boston as an initiation kill, in order to gain favor with their alliance. He is also one of the defenders of the mystical city of Nanda Parbat, and is still occasionally visited by Ramakrishna and Brahma Das.
You were gifted with power to be used to balance the scales of karma. Because of your actions, the scale now is unbalanced.
Eventually, Deadman's help would be needed more than ever. A team had been assembled to take down mystical threats that most heroes could not handle. They were known as Justice League Dark. Deadman became an integral member of this team and found a sense of belonging with them. With his power of possession, Deadman is able to completely control someone's soul, which also gives him access to their thoughts, feelings, memories, and even powers. He is as powerful as whatever he possesses, and can do these things without anyone noticing, which makes him incredibly deadly. Please like this video and subscribe for more unknown comic origins.